Hi YouTube, and welcome to today's video of the top 10 Pokemon that I believe should get an evolution. And if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. So with that said, let's get started. Starting off our list today is Jinx at number 10. The reason I decided to put Jinx on this list is because Jinx seems to get no love from this first generation. In the 4th gen, they seem to give all these evolutions to all these different Pokemon from the older previous generations, such as Magmar and Electabuzz and Yanma. All those Pokemon, actually, Yanma's from the 2nd gen, but you know what I mean. But all these Pokemon got other evolutions, of course, and Jinx didn't, and her stat total is 455, which isn't absolutely terrible, but her defense is 35. That's almost like a Caterpie twice her level might even be able to take her out with some tackles, which is pretty bad. And considering Magmar and Electabuzz got such awesome evolutions, I consider them a trio, actually, even though I guess they're not really related in any way. But if you look at the poster of the original Pokemon, you'll see that she's right there next to Magmar and Electabuzz, and of course you look through the list and there's all these Pokemon that got evolutions, but Jinx was left alone, and I don't know why. So that brings me back to the point is I think she should get an evolution, definitely, at least sometime, maybe even just a Mega. Coming in at number 9 is Skarmory. Now we can all agree that Skarmory looks pretty badass, and I remember my days playing 2nd generation for the very first time and seeing that there's this awesome freaking metal bird, and I was just, stoked on life. And its stats aren't even that terrible at 465 and a defense of 140, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at. But Skarmory to me feels like he could use an evolution. He feels so alone just being Skarmory, and it kind of takes away from the badass the fact that if I caught him, I wouldn't be changing his form later on, because we all know half the fun of playing Pokemon and raising these guys is watching them evolve. Skarmory is awesome, but I feel like an evolution would just make him that much more awesome. Number 8 would have to be, for me, Zangoose. With an attack of 115, he's definitely not that bad. I mean, you're not going to be wanting to face him with a slash while he's got max DVs on attack. But his defense, special attack, and special defense are pretty lacking at 60, although I wouldn't use special attack for a Zangoose, I'd use his attack, but I don't know, there might be that guy, but anyways, he's really awesome looking, and I've always liked the way that he looks since Generation 3's first release. And but with his stat total being 458, I just don't feel like he could hold his own towards the end of a game. When fighting through the Elite Four, he's going to start to fall behind and be a little weaker than the rest of your guys. But on its own, 458 isn't that terrible, so I guess we could live without it, without an evolution. But if he got an evolution, I would guarantee that I would use this guy at least once or twice. He's awesome looking, and he's fast, and he's got an awesome attack. But anyways, yeah, that's me. I think Zangoose should also get an evolution. At number 7, we have this guy. Do you remember this guy? Some of you probably will, but for me, after playing 4th gen even 4 or 5 times, I had no idea who the heck this guy was. Coming up towards 5th generation, I was confused. I was like, this guy must hang out with Maractus, another guy that I forgot about. That's a different story. But anyways, his name's Karnavine. He's grass type, and his stats aren't that bad, with an attack of 100 and a special attack of 90, and his total being 454. His defense and special defense aren't even that bad either. But I wouldn't want to put him up against a Mega Charizard Y using Eruption at full HP. But then again, that'd just be bad playing. But anyways, I feel like Karnavine should use an evolution because he's unmemorable to me, and he doesn't stick out in any way, and maybe he's just a filler Pokemon, but he has potential to be something cool. And coming at number 6 is Taurus. Just as a bit of an Alamamola incident, when I first saw Bouffalant, this guy right here, I thought, oh cool, Taurus got an evolution finally, although I personally think Bouffalant does not look good, but that is just me. But anyways, his stat total is definitely, he doesn't need an evolution, being 490 with 100 attack and 110 speed, and even his defenses aren't half bad at all. But I don't know, Taurus, I wish that he got an evolution. I love evolving a Pokemon, and I'd love to pick up a Taurus in the beginning of the game, which might be a little bit OP, and then knowing that in 40 levels he's going to turn into this even more beast, which would be awesome. But I guess, if they're going to evolve him, it'd probably be more suitable to give him a Mega Evolution, because he's already pretty powerful. But for me, I think Taurus should get some sort of evolution. Coming at number 5, we have Qwilfish with a stat total of 430, which is absolute crap. As much as I hate to say it, because I love poison types, and he does look kind of badass. He looks like a part of the biker gang of the ocean, but he's got a special defense of 55, which is pretty bad. You wouldn't even want to take a Thunderbolt from an Electrike the same level. His attack isn't that bad at 95, but for me personally, I feel like Qwilfish is in need of an evolution. And then maybe, you'd see him more in competitive play. I've never even seen anybody use this guy ever. But anyways, that's number 5, Qwilfish. Okay, now I'm pretty sure we can all agree that when 5th generation came out, we all saw this guy and we thought, oh wow, Luvdisc is finally getting an evolution. But of course that wasn't the case. So at number 4 we have Luvdisc, whose stats are 330, which is, well, it's just terrible, and his speed isn't bad, which is 97, but I mean, cool, you can outspeed, and so you can maybe hit a Hydro Pump off first, but at 40 special attack, he's not going to be doing much. Maybe Luvdisc isn't exactly a popular Pokemon, and maybe he wouldn't even get used even if he did get an evolution. But, I guess he's kind of cute in a weird way, and it'd be kind of neat to see him evolve into something that nobody would expect, and maybe bring his stats up to like 480, even like that. Give him some decent special attack and some defenses there. But yes, that's number 4, Luvdisc. Coming at number 3, we have Tropius. I remember back in my days playing Ruby and Sapphire, I knew that there was a weird, awesome, flying dinosaur grass thing that was hanging out by that place where you get cast form. And I used to always go hunting for him, and then I'd always catch him, but then I'd never end up using him because he couldn't seem to hold his own too well. And his stats aren't bad at 460, and his HP is pretty awesome at 99. But Tropius himself, I think he deserves an evolution, or even just a Mega Evolution, because he is pretty badass, and I would love to use him for, any other thing other than just a little bit of space filler in my PC. So that is number 3, Tropius. Coming at number 2, which might actually be a little unexpected, because this is almost a number 1, but for a lot of people, but for me it's a number 2. We have Farfetch'd. With a stat total of 352, this Pokemon was just created and then forgotten about, and he always was pretty badass in the series, because he's like, a little ninja, and he's awesome with his little stick, what he goes and whacks things with. So his stat total is 352, his attack is 65, which is, pretty bad. I mean, he might be able to hold his own against Beedrill, at least I'd hope so, but not with the upcoming Mega. But Farfetch'd himself, I think that he should really get an evolution, and there's so many things you could do with this Pokemon, because he's cool looking, and, he's like a ninja. I think a ninja should evolve, especially if his stats are 352. But anyways, that's number 2, Farfetch'd. And here we are, the big number 1. For me, I would say that should be Dunsparce, the weird-looking drilling maggot thing with no eyes. He's pretty creepy looking, and I don't even know what to say about him. I don't even know what the heck he is. But as a kid, I remember playing Silver, and I remember playing Gold, and I think it was Dark Cave, but I remember running around Dark Cave for ages and ages and ages trying to find this guy. And I didn't know anything about stats back then. I was 7 years old. Maybe some of you did, but I didn't. And I don't even think I ended up finding him, but I spent so much time trying to. And looking at his stats now, being 415, which is actually kind of surprising, because when I look at him, I think that he's almost like a little baby Pokemon, or another filler guy like Luvdisc, but he's actually got a stat total of 415, and somehow his HP has made it to 100, which just blows my mind. But anyways, Dunsparce is another left behind, forgotten about Pokemon, and Dunsparce, I don't even know what you could do with it, but it looks like it's got these little wings on its back. Maybe you could turn it into some sort of like blazing phoenix, I don't know. But Dunsparce, I believe, deserves an evolution so he can get a little bit of love. That would just be so awesome. So that's number 1, Dunsparce. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more Pokemon content, just leave me a like and a comment suggesting what you'd like to see, like a Nuzlocke or another top 10 video, and you can leave your own suggestions for the top 10 Pokemon that you believe should evolve. It'd be interesting to see your guys' feedback. And I've done this outro probably 1,000 times already, and I keep messing it up, so I'll just say subscribe.